How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. We've been gone for a little while here, got a little flu bug going through, and I lost my voice there for a while. So I wasn't able to get on the air with you guys and cover what's been going on with the Brewers and in Wisconsin sports as of late. It's been a struggle. I've really wanted to talk a little bit of Brewers. A lot has happened over the last weekend heading into this week here. Last night, Brewers dropped a game to the Pirates. We're going to cover that. We're also going to look at this last weekend here and just get some reaction to what we thought in that Phillies series. And then just cover a little bit more where we see the Brewers sitting right now. They're getting on the home stretch right now. The Cubbies are right behind them in the division race, and the wild card race is heating up right now in the MLB. So we're going to cover that. We're going to fly around the league a little bit here, check out what's been going on in Major League Baseball and where everybody's sitting as of right now, and also take a look at the minor leagues for the Brewers right now and see where they're sitting heading into the home stretch, just like the Major League team here. So with that, we're going to jump right into the Brewers, and we are looking at the weekend series that they just had with the Phillies. Took 2 out of 3, and that's a great series against a great team. The Phillies have been playing some great ball this year. Their offense is very good for that Phillies team. You have a guy like Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber. Doesn't look like he's good looking at his batting average, but you look at those, I think he's up to 39 home runs after that Brewer series. Impressive bat right there. He's got more home runs than singles this year. That's nuts if you ask me. But so that's an impressive offense, and the Brewers did their job against them in that series and put up some runs while doing it. So quick jump into that Friday night game. Devin Williams got the win for the Brewers. Struggled coming in relief. That game I didn't understand. So looking back at that one, Pampas came in the 8th, and that was all fine and dandy. But when they brought Pomp in, he gave up a couple hits, and it was a struggle then. And it was looking like, oh boy, what's going to happen to this team here? And then all of a sudden, Craig Counsell says, okay, we're going to go to the bullpen now. So he jumps into the bullpen, and he grabs Devin Williams out. Okay, Devin Williams comes in after Pampas gets 2 outs. So we let Pampas ride for 2 outs there. He got the first 2 guys reached. He got the second 2. And then we go, okay, now we want to pull you. Now we want to get you out of there. We want to bring in Devin Williams early. I did not understand that. So what happened was Bohm walked, Real Muto singled, Marsh singled, Marsh singled, brought in a run, made it 3-2. Cave struck out, and then Kyle Schwarber flew out. Then we bring in Devin Williams, face Trey Turner, and it's not like it's a righty-lefty matchup or anything that we were going for. It's a righty-righty, same as Pampas was against him. After Pomp got the 2 outs, we bring in Devin Williams. He gives up the 3-run home run. Then he finally gets out of the inning there by giving up or getting Bryce Harper to ground out there. And that's where I just don't. And luckily in that game, Bohm at third let the ball go underneath his glove, because otherwise the Brewers, if Bohm beats him to the bag there, the Brewers probably lose that game there. So a little bit of help from the Phillies in that one. But I don't understand Craig Counsell's use of his bullpen right there. I really don't. I don't understand that. Why? I understood, okay, if you wanted to pull Pampas after the first 3 reached, okay, now you bring in Devin Williams before he gets the 2 outs. But Pampas he struggled to start, and he got the 2 outs. So now he's got 2 outs in the inning. Now you go get him. Now you go and get him out of there and get Devin Williams in there. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Why are we bringing Devin Williams in there? If Pampas is supposed to be that setup man, we cannot constantly be bringing in Devin Williams in the 8th, because we know with Devin Williams, his workload becomes a lot. He has to sit. He has to rest a certain amount of days. We can't have the Cubs series come up here at the end of the season, and we can't have Devin Williams game 1, because the game before that he had to pitch inning and a third to get Pampas out of the inning. No, he's got to be able to get out of those innings, and he was getting out of that inning. He struggled to start, but he had the 2 outs. He got Schwarber to fly out, and I can't remember who was up before that, but he got him out. And then he had Trey Turner coming up, and you pull him out, put Devin Williams in there, 3-run home run. Don't understand the use of it there, but whatever. In the end, it worked out for the Brewers. But I don't in that game too with Craig Counsell. So Tyrone Taylor, when we were down in Texas, against the Rangers. Tyrone Taylor, you could have pinch hit him for anybody because the man was hot. He was hitting everything. He was on fire. That was where you wanted him. You wanted him at the bat. But in this game, bases loaded, we pinch hit for Sal Frelick, a contact hitter, mind you, for Tyrone Taylor, who is a all or nothing, I'm going to put everything I got into this swing kind of guy. And he's been struggling since they came back from Texas, basically. He hasn't been the hottest of hitters since then. So looking at that, I don't understand the pinch hit right there for Frelick. Because then, okay, if this game drags on and drags on, I would rather have Frelick in the game than I would have Tyrone Taylor in the game. I would rather have Frelick's bat than Tyrone Taylor's bat. So you pinch hit for Frelick there, and this game drags on. Now you have Tyrone Taylor in there instead of Frelick. So in a playoff situation, I don't want to have Tyrone Taylor out there over Frelick in that situation. It'd be like pinch hitting or having Joey Wiemer when he comes in for defense purposes. If this game drags on, Joey Wiemer's got a bat. And that's what we're trying to avoid with Joey Wiemer right now. I know that his at-bats are down, and there's a reason for that. His at-bats have been up all season. He's been 351 at-bats on the season here, 73 hits and a 208 average, 108 strikeouts, and 351 at-bats. Take that in perspective with Christian Yelich's stats this season. 511 at-bats, 126 strikeouts. So almost the same amount of strikeouts in less at-bats. That's a problem. And I don't understand these defensive guys. Unless you have a lead or a big lead, these defensive substitutions, I don't understand really where we want to go with this. Unless if you're bringing in like a Bryce Terang into the infield, because Terang has solidified himself as he's going to get me some hits, but at second base, he's a gold glove second baseman. He could be a gold glover wherever you want to put him in the infield. That could be the guy. So I understand it with Terang, but Joey Wiemer, Sal Frelick can take that spot. We cannot keep playing this righty-lefty matchup with Sal Frelick and Joey Wiemer playing a platoon role out there. Sal Frelick needs to be in the lineup over Joey Wiemer, and that's where I'm looking here with this Brewers team right now, is that I don't understand the uses of subs right now for Craig Counsell. We are win or go home right now for this Brewers team, and I want my best 9 on the field. Whether the game's going to continue or the Brewers will get out of it, I want the best guys out there hitting, fielding. I want the best that I can have possibly out there. Mark Canha is a great hitter right now, and I hate to pull him out for a defensive substitution unless if we're in a 3-run lead and Devin Williams is coming in the 9th. Canha, I want in that outfield. I don't want him getting pulled in the 7th for Joey Wiemer to go play the outfield. That's the last thing I want. I want Mark Canha in that lineup. So that's why I'm looking at this Brewers team. It's that substitutions right now are really baffling me for this Brewers team, along with the usage of the bullpen. That's about all I got for that. It's just the struggle of some of these subs that the Brewers have on their bench right now. And then we are looking at Saturday's game. Got off topic there. We're going to jump back into it here. Saturday's game, Brewers win again 7-5. Good game for the Brewers there. Couple of notables. Schwarber went deep again to lead off that game. And then Tyrone Taylor had a double in that one. Yelich singled in a run. Santana had a big home run in that one. And that was really the put-away punch for the Brewers, was that Carlos Santana, I believe it was a 2-run shot. Yes, 2-run shot for Carlos Santana. That was really the put-away punch for this Brewers team in that one. And in that game, Chafin got the win for the Brewers. Chafin did actually pitch for once out of the bullpen, pitched a pretty good game for this Brewers team. And then Devin Williams got the save there in the 9th. And then looking at Sunday, Dominguez got the win for the Phillies. Miley took the loss. Again, did not understand the usage here by Craig Counsell. Wade Miley, since he has came back from the IL, and I kind of questioned it for a while, but I understood it after a while. Was he was trying to save his arm because he is injury prone. He's getting a little bit older. So I understood it. But Wade Miley went into the 7th inning in this one, and Wade Miley usually doesn't go past the 5th or 6th inning. It's just not how it is. Wade Miley does not have that dominant stuff where he can get through the order 3-4 times in a game. He's not going to go a complete game. He's got the stuff he can get you through 6. If he goes 7, that's sweet. That's awesome. But the way Craig Counsell has used him since the IL stint for him was he is out in the 6th. We let him roll out there for the 7th. 3-run seventh for the Phillies. And I'm not saying the Brewers offense did not hit very well in this one, and there should have been a lot more scoring by the Brewers. They had opportunities. They just failed to knock in those runs. But Wade Miley, the usage of him in this game did not make sense to me. Craig Counsell, I don't know what bit him, but he's like, okay, I can't use the bullpen. I have to leave Miley out there. And he struggled there in that seventh inning, and that was ultimately what was the downfall of the Brewers in that one. 4-2 loss there on Sunday, but took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. Great start, great start to the weekend, and then they finished it out on Saturday. Got the 2 of 3 from the Phillies there over the weekend and pushed that division lead up. But then leading into Monday, yesterday, for this Brewers team, 4-2 loss to the Pirates there, and the offense struggled. And when I say the offense struggled, it mightily struggled. 2 runs off of sac flies. And I'm all for producing runs in all kinds of fashions. You want to score them off of an air, like in that Phillies game when Bohm let it go underneath your glove? That's runs. I don't care what it is. You get some good luck sometimes in baseball. You get some bad luck in baseball. And, I mean, we watched it in this. We watched it. Stinking thing, I tell you. We watched it in this Pirates game. Sorry about that. We watched it in this Pirates game here. The Brewers ran into some bad luck. They had some hard hit balls at the infielders there, especially looking at it in that 9th inning. Rowdy Tellez, another guy where I don't understand his usage right now, and we'll get to Rowdy here in a minute. But you look at like Rowdy Tellez, even Bryce Terang in this 9th inning, hard hit balls right at the infielders. And that's where you get the bad luck of baseball. And the good luck, look at the Phillies game. That ball went right at the Bohm's glove. There's your good luck of baseball. The Brewers ran into some bad luck in this game, but it did not really conflict this game for the Brewers here. The struggle was, you look at Yelich right now, and we're going to jump off the Pirates here, and we're going to look at just a little bit here of Christian Yelich here. Actually, we'll look at him in a second. I do want to look at Yelich here. We'll look at him in a second. But the Brewers in this one, Yelich 0 for 3 on the night. Contreras extended that hitting streak 1 for 4 on the night here. Frelick 1 for 3. Cano went 1 for 3, and Caratini 1 for 3. Monasterio 2 for 3. They had hits. They had guys on. They got guys on base. You look back at that second inning there where they scored their runs, loaded up the bases on walks, and then you look at Caratini, and I get jumping on the first pitch. You want to jump on that first pitch, but he had just walked the previous 3 hitters. So Caratini jumps on the first pitch, fly ball, scores the run. Okay. Bryce Terang comes up, exact same thing, jumps on the first pitch, fly ball, sac fly. There's your 2 runs of the game for the Brewers. And I don't know. I like the approach is there. I understand the approach. You want to bring runs in. Sac fly is just as good as anything else bringing in those runs. But also in that situation, I don't know, when I was taught hitting back in high school, college, when they were teaching hitting, you watch the first 3 guys before you get walked. You want to be able to just sit in there and maybe take a pitch. Take 2 pitches. Watch and see what he's got and if he can actually throw strikes or if he's going to continue to struggle up there. Because the one Caratini swung at and flew out on, that was a high fastball. You could have let that go. That wasn't a great pitch to hit. So you're not – the Brewers, when those 2 came up, they weren't going up there to get a hit. And that's where the struggle is right now is why are you not going up there trying to get a hit? We're looking for hits right now. Why would you not want to extend that inning? A base hit there by Caratini probably brings in 2 runs. But instead, you go for a high fastball up by it was pretty close to the schnoz, I mean, and you fly out to right. And then you look at Terang, comes up next. Fly ball out to left. Brought in a run. Yeah, great. But a sac fly, I feel great about a sac fly when a guy comes up, and if it's late in the game, you're facing a dominant reliever and you hit a sac fly out there to the outfield, that's awesome. That's different. But this is early in this ball game against a struggling starter who has been known to struggle in this season, a 4.90 ERA for Ortiz on the season. And instead of watching a pitch, taking a pitch, you swing at a high fastball and you jump on it, and it's just, I mean, there's not much you're going to be able to do with it. Victor Caratini is a great hitter when it's down in the zone, not high, not at his eyeballs. And he swung high at that one, flew out. Terang had the same approach. I just want to put this ball in play, but I'm not putting it in play to score runs or multiple runs. I don't understand that approach there. It was to me, it wasn't the right approach in that situation. And people will look at it in different perspectives, but to me, that was the wrong approach in that situation, especially by Caratini. Nobody out, bases loaded, nobody out. You come up there, you just watch the three guys before you get walked. One of them on 4 straight pitches, and you're going to come up there and just hack. I don't understand that approach by Victor Caratini in that one. I hope that he got ass chewing when he got back to the dugout there, but who knows? But that's just my perspective on it there. For what I'm seeing with this Brewers team is the approaches that they're taking at the plate are just not there. I don't understand it. You look at compare that to a situation to like the Braves. If you had Ronald Acuna coming up, Ronald Acuna is not swinging at the first pitch if all he thinks he's going to be able to do with that first pitch is hit a pop fly to the outfield to bring in a run. Ronald Acuna is going up there and he's either trying to hit it over your head, which is what the Braves do, or he's trying to put that ball through a gap and bring in multiple runs. And that's the difference between the Brewers, who just scavenge for runs, and the Braves, who produce runs. They throw runs on the board like it's nothing. And that's where I think the Brewers will falter off here in this season or later into this season going into the playoffs here, is that their inability to produce runs versus scavenging runs and just getting them when they can. I want to see this Brewers team produce them, go up there, bases loaded, nobody out. He just walked the bases loaded, put a dominant at bat together, maybe watch a pitch. Maybe that first pitch to Caratini there that was high, maybe it gets called a ball. Now it's 1-0. This guy's still struggling. Now he throws you dead red fastball. Now you have a great pitch to work with there instead of swinging out of your comfort zone to try to put a run up on the board there. And that's just where I'm looking with the Brewers team. Hitting wise in this one, but looking at the pitching for the Brewers, Burns struggled a little bit in this one. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 2 home runs. And you listen to Jeff Levering, and not a fan, but Vinny Rotino was on tonight, and Vinny's not terrible, but he talks a lot. He really does talk a lot, and it's a lot of just nuisance talk. To me, that's my opinion, but that's just what I feel about it. But either way, they were talking all night, and they brought up a good point. They said Burns has the stuff tonight. His stuff was working, just had a couple of mistake pitches, and that's what I'm seeing a lot with this Brewers starting rotation is a couple of mistake pitches, and it usually leads to a home run. Look at Freddie Peralta's starts. You look at every one of his starts, at least the one of the hits is going to be a home run against Freddie Peralta. But that's where I'm looking. And Burns, I did see Burns has given up 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. So Burns has been subject to the home run ball as of late. So hopefully he starts buckling down a little bit and getting that ball on the ground here for the Brewers. Other than that, Milner came in on the bullpen, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 2 Ks for Milner. And then Bryce Wilson had an inning, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout also. And Bryce Wilson has turned his season around for this Brewers team. Not a huge amount of workload for him, but a 2.86 ERA out of that bullpen is nothing to laugh about there for Bryce Wilson. So that's impressive work there out of Milner and Wilson to keep that game close there for the Brewers offense. Hayes, 2 hits on the game there. He had a home run for this Pirates team. McCutchen, hopefully he's okay. I did see he left the game early with some Achilles problems. So hopefully everything checks out with McCutchen. He had a 2-for-3 night. Hopefully nothing wrong with McCutchen. Great guy. Loved him when he was on the Brewers. He struggled a little bit for the Brewers, but great guy to have around on a ball club. Just hope for the best for him and that he has a speedy recovery and is back in the lineup here. Jack Sawinski had a home run for this team too. 2-for-4 on the night. And then, the other RBI came from McCutchen when he had a 2-run RBI double for this team. And then out for the pitching for the Pirates, Ortiz went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Those 3 walks coming in that second inning there for the Brewers. And then Maya Dozinski had 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Holderman came in for an inning and a strikeout. And then Bendar came in to close it out there. An inning pitched for him. Lucky he didn't have to face Sal Frelick again. Frelick had the big RBI single against him to tie it there when he blew the save in Milwaukee. But looking ahead, we'll look ahead quick to the Brewers and Pirates game 2 of the series tonight here, 5:35 start. Brandon Woodruff, 3-1 on the season here, a 2.70 ERA, and not decided yet for the Pirates yet who is going to throw. Looking at this Pirates lineup against Woodruff, DeLay's got a pretty good average against them. They're 3 at bats, 667. He's batting. Connor Joel, I think his name's Connor Joel. Either way, Joe, right fielder from the Pirates, he's got a 500 average against him, 1 home run. And Rodriguez, catcher for the Pirates, is batting 1,000 against him there. 2 at bats, 1 home run. And then Rivas is batting 500, 4 at bats. Brian Reynolds struggled against Brandon Woodruff. He's got a 125 average against him there, 16 at bats and 1 RBI. And then McCutchen with a .071 average against him, 14 at bats, 1 home run against him though in his career, and 2 RBIs. So with that, hopefully the Brewers can pick up a win tonight. They can get the bats back in order here. But we're going to jump into that. We're going to look at the Brewers bats right now. And I'm looking at what they're sitting at stat-wise in the league right now in Major League Baseball. And I'm looking at their team rank. At-bats so far this season, 27. That's telling me that they're not producing a lot at the plate. There's not a lot of hits going on, which is leading to limited at-bats for guys. And that's where the struggles come with this team. 28th in hits right now, 19th in runs scored, 27th in doubles, 26th in triples, 23rd in home runs. This team that looks like they're all going for the fence is 23rd in home runs right now, 142. RBIs right now, they're sitting 20th in the league. Walks, they're sitting 3rd. So they have good eyes at the plate. 490 walks on the season. They know how to draw their walks. They know how to work at bats and really get at guys. So if there's a good thing in this stats, right there with the walks, we know that they are patient at the plate. Hit by pitch, 21st. If Mark Canha had been there all season, we'd probably be number 1. Strikeouts, 17th in the league. Stolen bases, they're 9th. Caught stealing, 19th. And then average, team average, 236. They're sitting 27th in the league in team average right now. That is pitiful, to say the least, for this Brewers team. On-base percentage, 21st, and slugging percentage, 28th. So with that, looking at the Brewers hitting stats right now, it is a struggle all around for this Brewers team. Everybody likes to lean one way with it, blame one guy. It's an all-around effort right now. We have 2 guys, and right now I'd say we have 2 guys, and one of them is not Christian Yelich. I'm going to tell you that right now. Christian Yelich has been struggling as of late. I'm going to jump into him here in a second, but I'm going to finish this here with William Contreras and Mark Canha right now. Those are the 2 guys. Mark Canha has been hitting great as of late for this Brewers team. Looking at his stats, Canha is hitting in his 15-game hit on-base streak, which actually went to 16 as of last night. He had a 365 average, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 7 walks, and a 1.074 OPS. Mark Canha has been hitting great for this Brewers team. He needs to be in there on a consistent basis for this Brewers here to team down the stretch. And with that, same with William Contreras. He's been batting great here for the Brewers pretty much all season here. He went hot to start the year, cooled off a little bit, but now he's getting hot again for this Brewers team. Getting hot at the right time for this Brewers team. And that is great to see out of William Contreras. And then I want to jump into Christian Yelich right now. And it's one of those things where I watched it for a little bit, and I was like, I'm not really worried. The rest of the offense is picking him up, and it's going to be okay. But I don't know if it is. I'm worried that Christian Yelich is dropping off again. And this is where I'm looking right now. Last 7 games, 5 hits, 26 at-bats, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, 12 strikeouts, and a 192 average. Last 15, a 193 average, 11 hits and 57 at-bats, 3 RBIs, and 1 home run. Last 30 games, 229 average, 27 hits, and 118 at-bats, 19 runs scored, 10 RBIs, 18 walks, and 36 strikeouts. I'm really worried that Christian Yelich is dropping back into what we have seen early on in the year before he heated up for this Brewers team. He went through a period where he was struggling, then he heated back up, and now I am worried that he is struggling again for this Brewers team. And everybody's like, oh, well, it's the leadoff spot. It's the leadoff spot for him. That's where he's got to be. That's where he produces. At some point, he's going to have to be able to be moved. Because with this struggle right now for Christian Yelich, you look at it tonight, or last night for this Brewers team, 1st and 3rd, one out. Yelich is coming up, bringing up the top of the order. And I can't tell you how many times I've watched baseball throughout the years, and I have looked at games, and when the bottom of the order gets on and you have the top of the order coming up, you're like, yes, here we go. Here's some runs. Runs are going to be produced right now. This is where we want to be in our order. This is not where we want to be right now. Christian Yelich came up there, ground ball, not even hard hit, back to the pitcher, turns to easy double play, inning over. And you sat there and you go, crap, that might have been one of the only situations in this game we're going to bring in that run. And that's where I'm looking right now is, do the Brewers, it is a good option for the Brewers to put a guy like Sal Frelick at the top of the order. And I know Sal, he's been up and down. His hitting, he came up, he got hot, and then all of a sudden he cooled off a little bit, but then he's been consistent. And when I say consistent is that he's a guy who he's going to go up there and he's going to put a battle at the plate. And he's going to battle up there with the pitcher. He's going to work a count. And generally with Sal Frelick, he's going to put the ball in play. Now, every time is he going to come up with a hit for me? Probably not. But in a leadoff role, a traditional leadoff role is you want a guy who's going to work counts and he's going to put the ball in play for you. And with Sal Frelick's speed, if he puts the ball in play, generally if it's on the left side, it's going to be a close play at first base. So that's where I'm looking here is, would Sal Frelick fill into that leadoff spot for the Brewers team right now, have him bat before, and that's where I look at this Brewers lineup right now and I say, okay, where can you adjust guys in this Brewers lineup? So could you throw Sal Frelick in the leadoff spot right now, bump Christian Yelich back down to the 2, then have William Contreras bat, and then look at a guy like excuse me, and then look at a guy like Carlos Santana coming in that 4 spot then, followed by Mark Canha in the 5 spot for this Brewers team. I could see that working for this Brewers team right now, just because we need guys to get on for William Contreras, because William Contreras is the consistent hitter right now that the Brewers have, the most consistent. Besides what Mark Canha has been doing as of late, and Carlos Santana has been hitting a little bit better too. But your most consistent bat is coming with William Contreras. So getting guys on before Contreras is what you need to do. So would that be putting Sal Frelick up at the top and moving Contreras back down to that 3 spot in the Brewers batting order, and then moving Santana down to the traditional 4 where you'd like to see a power hitter? Not Sal Frelick in the 4 position, because Sal Frelick's not a power hitter. Why is he in that RBI spot in the 4 spot? Sal Frelick can bring in runs. I'm not saying he can't, but he's not that traditional power guy. So why would you not drop Santana back down to that 5 spot, move Contreras down, have Yelich and Sal in your top, and then Canha drops in there into that 5 spot? And then I'm looking at a guy like Rowdy Tellez, who has been hitting better for this Brewers team as of late. And that's why I'm wondering, so, okay, if you do that batting order that I was just saying with Frelick at the top, and then you're looking down the order, and you get a guy like Yelich, then Contreras, then Santana, then Mark Canha, then why don't you bat a guy like Rowdy Tellez? Since coming back to the Brewers here in his last 7 games, 15 at-bats, 5 hits, 7 RBIs, 1 home run. Last 15 games, 205 average, 8 hits, 39 at-bats, 12 RBIs. So he's still producing for this Brewers team, and as I've seen in these last couple games, is he's still hitting the ball hard. And that's what we're looking for out of Rowdy Tellez, is hitting the ball hard and consistently, and he's hitting the ball again. And that's where I'm wondering, okay, so we bring Rowdy Tellez into that DH spot there in the 6th hole, and then put Willy Adames down in the 7th spot, followed by Monasterio, Terang right there. I think that could be a solid lineup for this Brewers team going down the stretch here. But with that, I want to jump into quickly running a lot of talking about this Brewers team and their struggles right now. Garrett Mitchell, good news on Garrett Mitchell is he has a doctor consultation at the end of this week to determine when he can get back to playing games. Things are trending positively right now for Garrett Mitchell. So hopefully see Garrett Mitchell back with some of these affiliates pretty soon here, work his way back up. And I think he could be a guy to come up for this Brewers team, and I could see him taking Joey Wiemer's spot there on the Major League roster here down the stretch. Also, another injury news for the Brewers. I don't know if this really affects many people, but Jesse Winker was injured again in his rehab assignment there. Will go back on the injured list. He injured his right quad on Friday in Nashville. He was moved back onto the injured list while working his way back from the injured list. So bad news for Jesse Winker there. We were hoping maybe he could sit down in AAA for a while, figure that bat out, maybe add another power threat for the Brewers off the bench, but back on the injured list for the Brewers here. Don't know how long he will be out there. But a guy I wanted to jump in with real quick was Josh Donaldson. Didn't get into talking about Donaldson here over this last week. The Brewers got him off of waivers. And I just wanted to look real quick, see if we can get some stats on him here. He has played a couple games here for Nashville. Oh, I can find it right there. Here we go. So for Nashville right now, he has appeared in one game, 2 at-bats so far. He drew a walk in that one game he has played. And so hopefully Josh Donaldson gets a couple more at-bats in him down there. I'm not sure how I feel about the Josh Donaldson trade as of right now for the Brewers. I don't know where his usage is going to come into for this Brewers team down the stretch, because you look, Andrew Monasterio has kind of solidified himself into this Brewers lineup. A 260 after last night, he's probably up to 265 hitter for this Brewers team. And he's been, ever since Brian Anderson got hurt, Andrew Monasterio has been one of the guys in this Brewers lineup. And he's been a consistent bat. He's a good hitter for this Brewers team, works counts, plays a decent third base for you. Josh Donaldson on the season for the Yankees, a 142 average for him. 15 hits in 106 at-bats on the season there, 32 strikeouts, and 10 home runs for the Yankees there as of before they sent him down to AAA. He had a little injury problem with him there. He only played in 34 games. But it was a struggle for Josh Donaldson this season, and it's a struggle for a lot of the Yankees hitters. And maybe if you get Josh Donaldson that was with the Twins, a 247 hitter, and 26 home runs there he had with the Twins in that entire stretch, that's different. Okay, now you got a decent hitter coming into the Brewers. But what is Josh Donaldson going to bring? I'm not a fan of Josh Donaldson. I never have been. I figured, okay, we look at what Matt Arnold said going into the trade deadline. We don't want to ruin club morale. Josh Donaldson could ruin club morale. He's a hothead. He's just like a little bit better than Manny Machado, but at the same time, he still has his problems, and that's where I look at Josh Donaldson. I don't know what the Brewers were really thinking when they brought in Josh Donaldson into this Brewers team. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he ends up being a spark for this Brewers team, another veteran presence there for the playoffs. We will have to see with him going down the stretch. But with that, I just want to look one last thing there. Brian Anderson, I think with this Brewers team, if there's a guy that the Brewers can afford to be able to get rid of here, it's going to be Brian Anderson. He has not played since August 22nd for this team. And when he has played limited roles, maybe you keep him on as a defensive guy, but we have a lot of defensive guys on this team. We need more bats, and maybe Josh Donaldson comes up and Brian Anderson goes down for this team. I'd hate to see Owen Miller go back down, but I feel like there's not a lot of usage going out of this bench for the Brewers team right now. They got a lot of decent bats on there, but it's not a lot of usage out of them. They're tending to stay towards the main starters right now and trending away from the bench. So the bench roles have been limited, and I think Brian Anderson's role on this team is basically gone. So maybe see Brian Anderson get sent down here. I know they were talking about seeing Josh Donaldson up with the Major League Club here as of this week. So maybe see Josh Donaldson take the spot of Brian Anderson down the stretch. But with that, that is about all I want to cover for the day. Well, no, hold on. We want to jump into some MLB real fast. We're going to fly around the league real quick. Can't forget about the rest of Major League Baseball right now and see where everybody else is sitting. Cubs beat the Giants yesterday 5-0. Astros took care of the Rangers. The Brewers did. I'm telling you, the Brewers did something to the Rangers. I don't know if it was because they just got completely manhandled by the Brewers or what it was, but 13-6, they beat the Rangers. They have struggled ever since the Brewers left Texas there. I don't know if Tyrone Taylor, giving up that many runs to Tyrone Taylor was the problem, but they destroyed the Rangers because they are struggling right now. Athletics, 6-5, they lost to the Blue Jays. Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 4-2. Reds took care of the Mariners 6-3. Red Sox beat the Rays 7-3. Twins beat the Guardians 20-6. The Twins, 20 hits on the game there. Wowza. That is a heck of a game right there. Other than that, the Phillies beat the Padres 9-7. So that's about it. Going into tonight's game, Brewers, we already talked about them. 5:35 start there against the Pirates. Twins and Guardians will face off again. Reds and Mariners have a 5:40 start. Braves and Cardinals have a 6:20 start. Looking around there, the Marlins and Dodgers will start at 5:40. Marlins have been playing some better ball as of late. Cubs and Giants will continue that series. 6:40 start there. Other than that, Diamondbacks and Rockies will have a 8:40 start, and the Phillies and Padres will have an 8:40 start also there for tomorrow or tonight's schedule for the MLB. But with that, we're going to jump out of it for today. That was a lot of Brewer talk right there. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the Badgers. We have a special guest coming on to the show to talk Badgers. Down there at the game this weekend, checking out against Buffalo. So she's going to come in. She's going to talk to us and tell us what the atmosphere was like there for the first outing for Luke Fickell. We're going to get into a little bit of Packers also, and we're going to talk Brewers. Hopefully the Brewers take care of business against the Pirates coming up tonight here later on. So with that, it has been great talking to you guys. Great to be back on the mic for you guys, coming in and talking some Brewers and Wisconsin sports. But with that, this has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. Thank you guys for listening. Deuces, Brew Crew.